Boko Haram threatens our lives, our future, our country. But
These public information advertisements appear on Nigerian state TV every day.
Your support so far has been critical. We are Nigerians. A message from the State Security Service.
No wonder they're paranoid. The very day the schoolgirls were kidnapped, a huge bomb exploded in Abuja. Another went off 2 weeks later. They were claimed by Boko Haram and they killed around 100 people. Just after the bombings, the government informed local shantytown residents that it would be demolishing their neighbourhood.
The two bombs went off about 2 minutes walk from where I am now. The demolitions that are happening here are causing a lot of local friction. They're trying to clear people out because the authorities believe that there are Boko Haram suspects living here. We expect that the authorities do not want us to be filming here, but we're going to have a go.
Those who live in these lean-tos have shops and businesses here. Their market's already been destroyed. They were given less than 10 days' notice of this. Many aren't from around here. They've been displaced by the war with Boko Haram in the north. The government says this settlement's illegal. And the evictions and demolitions are part of a general clean-up. Nothing to do with Nigeria's war against terror. The now homeless locals don't buy that.
Why do you think the authorities are destroying this place?
The issue, it came because of the reason of Boko Haram. Boko Haram is a kind of misnomer. Nobody understands the kind of Boko Haram because of the bomb blast. And Boko Haram are somewhere else. Nobody can identify who is a Boko Haram. It is a terrorist group. It is a terrorist organization. Maybe it has a link, international terrorist. Wait. The issue here, the issue is this. The security and the life of property of the people rely 100% on the government. The government needs to protect people.
The police, the army and state security services then pounced on us. Eventually, we were evicted ourselves.
You don't have ID card.
Watching those demolitions with us, a prominent anti-corruption activist who says extreme poverty, extreme corruption and extremism are linked.
So what's your take on what we just saw down there?
I wonder if this is sustainable. So if the idea is to then basically demolish every shanty town in Abuja or Lagos or wherever where they might be, how sustainable is that in actually dealing with the actual problem?
Well, I mean, presumably, if poverty, extreme poverty, is one of the root causes of recruitment into an organisation like Boko Haram, they're exacerbating the problem.
If poverty is the root cause, or the supposed root cause that we're talking, what are the concrete steps around dealing with those issues? So we're losing bleeding money, and yet we're saying poverty is a problem, and poverty is an extreme cause of insurgency or terrorism. Those things are connected.
The buck stops with Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria's president. Tomorrow he's to visit Chibok, the village from which the girls were abducted. He has ruled out a prisoner swap as demanded by the leader of Boko Haram. Most of the girls who appeared in Tuesday's video have now been identified. Kidnappings like church burnings and bombings have long been a hallmark of this brutal, anarchic group of jihadis. Hannah, who's 19, was abducted and enslaved by Boko Haram last July. They forced her to cook for them, but gave her only scraps. They wanted to marry her off to one of their fighters, but after 3 months, she escaped. She remains deeply traumatized.
They started beating me as soon as they took me, demanding I convert to Islam. I refused. Even after a week, I insisted I would not convert. Then they tied a rope around my neck and pulled me to the ground. They kept telling me they would slaughter me.
The schoolgirls kidnapped didn't come out of the blue. Nigeria's official National Human Rights Commission warned the government a year ago of the alarming rise in the abduction of women and children by Boko Haram.
We came up across evidence of a pattern of abductions that went back at least, probably sometimes, some of the incidents as far back as 2011, but certainly it had become a clear pattern by late 2012 into 2013. I'm not a fortune teller, and that's not the role of the National Human Rights Commission. But it was clear that abductions were taking place, and something needed to have been done about it.
Exactly a month after the Chibok girls were taken, Nigeria has failed to get even one of them back. The girls' plight is now waking Nigerians to their government's ultimate failure to protect its own people.